Hey guys, Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com and Wingboarding.com. Now, a lot of people have been asking about the Flow and wanted to get an interview about the Flow and a review, and I wanted to spend a lot of time on this wing. I really got a chance to fly this wing probably about a month and a half ago, when this thing started to come out. The guys at Ozone have done a fantastic job of designing. The new team that's into this is really doing a great job. This is the Flow. This is one of their, I guess you would call it their price right. It's going to be their lower tier type wing. Then they're going to move into the Flux. And then I believe they're going to have some other Fluxes or something above that. But I got to tell you, this is built out of Dacron wing. This is one of the most well-balanced wings I have flown to date. And I tell you, I have flown a lot of them. The guys have redesigned and made things really simple and really clean. That's something that I like. Not this fancy shaped strut that goes in here to try to get a bladder to fit in there. Keep it simple, keep it straight, keep the cost down. You don't need to have some fancy multiple layers. Get this strut real straight. Let that Dacron work for itself. So a good set strut like this allows your bladder to go up inside of the openings really nice. It's not all bent around, not all curvature. So it gives you a solid base to put your handles. Now, we jump into the new handles, and what they've done here is they've gone into the long handle in the front, and then they put the short handle in back. Both of them are slightly angled, which is another great thing. You've got to get that slight angle to them so your arms aren't just dead straight and it's torquing your wrist. So they put that angle in there. The other cool part is they've got this where you can center hold the handle right at that balanced load point. So I'll find myself just flying the wing around like that. And a lot of people say, well, you can do that with a boom. Yes, you can do that with a boom, but when you got a boom, you got to take it off to travel. This is still the length of the bag, so it gives you that center balance point, but you can just fold it up and easily put it into the bag to go travel. You're not having to carry that boom. So there's a benefit to handles over booms, but that's kind of a personal. So they've done this great job on the handle placement, handle positioning, reinforcements all inside of here. I know these are got some double strips in here. Very simple the way the handles are put on, and that's a great thing about the strut. Now, the cool part about this wing is the stability. What I really love about this wing is how the stable without having any flutter in the cell. This thing is one of the tightest cells out there. I tell you, almost the whole time I'm riding, there is zero flutter. I gotta call it zero, but I will tell you when I rip it hard into the wind, I'll get a little tiny bit, but really nothing at all. It stays super tight, but usually in a super tight cell, guys say, well, it doesn't flag real well. It's not stable when you're riding a wave. Well, throw that out of the deal. This thing is so stable, and when you get that flagged out on the handle, it doesn't want to do any of that rocking. I was able to release it on the leash and hang on to it, kind of like a dog following me. That will just sit out there nice and smooth and just wait for you to bring that back in. So full stability built into it with a super tight cell. And the balance of shaping on this, you can see they've got a little bit of reflex in there. And however they do this to get all this shaping to make this thing so stable and so smooth in the power range, you've got a little reflex back there, a little washout in the tips, the little tiny battens back here. You don't need much because they've got it so tight and so balanced. It just wants to flag smooth and reduce all that flutter. The other thing about the wing, what I really like about it, what's going to come into it, is the smaller sizes. When you get into cranking winds, having a wing that doesn't want to constantly rock on you and want to try to flip over, this thing was really cool. It was so smooth from beginning to your experienced rider. I will tell you, this is a fantastic wing. Good and stiff. They have built it out. They own their own factory, so they can do all kinds of little tiny things. All the reinforcements, leading edge, all the way out to the connection of your struts, your handles, wing tips, as well as they worked on the distance of width, which is really cool. They brought that tip in, bringing it in about 4 or 5 inches. That allows you to quit snagging that tip on the water, which is really cool. So they're getting the surface area going back, not going out on the tips. But overall, I got to tell you, they did a fantastic job. If there is a wing that I recommend those intermediate riders or experienced riders wanting that one stable wing for the really high end to have such a great power range to it, the Flow is the wing. I gotta tell you, they did a fantastic job. Very happy for the guys at Ozone. This is definitely gonna carry people on to that next journey, and you'll get way more power out of one of these newer type wings than you do the older one. Anyway, that's Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com and Wingboarding.com to tell you, get your hands on one of these new Ozone Flows. These things are sweet.